Hello and welcome to the Real Life Alexa channel. I'm Alexa, this is my real life. And today I missed my Wednesday video. I apologize if you were waiting on that. I had my dad in town and it was just a really nice afternoon, evening out. The weather was absolutely perfect after some really horrible, hot, humid weather the past couple weeks. And we were outside until late and just decided to, unplug and enjoy it in a way. So here I am today, and this one is a bit of a harsh truth, at least I found it tough to swallow, to when I realized and understood it. I've mentioned before I watch I watch multiple different YouTube channels, but one of them, this person has left some really difficult situations in their past and is growing and healing, and it's really something to celebrate seeing. And with that, within the community, there's a lot of people who watch this channel and grow from it, and it's called Relatable Reese. You're welcome to go find it if you would like to. But within the community, there was a question about, essentially, what does the person who caused us trauma bear in terms of responsibility for helping us heal? And I feel like there's really only one way to say it, is they owe us nothing. These people, nobody owes us anything. And it's a really tough sort of truth to swallow, that even if someone has told us they're going to do something, at the end of the day, no one owes us anything. And especially if by doing it, it would also hurt them. And we can't tell other people how they feel. We can't tell other people how they should feel. We can't tell other people what they experienced. And we can't tell other people how they have to heal. We can make suggestions. And at the end of the day, they will have to truly be willing to face some really difficult thoughts and feelings and discomfort. I remember the first time, or one of the first times this has sort of hit me. I was talking about someone I had been dating in college, and I was very upset at the end of how it fell apart, the things they did. And the person I was talking to me looked at me and said, well, did they promise you anything? Did they say they were going to do anything? And I was like, no. And I was like, then they didn't do anything. They didn't break a promise. You just assumed, you built it up in your mind, and what you're feeling now, all the hurt you felt then, was because of your expectations. And I tried to sort of protest it at the time. You don't want to admit that some of the pain you're feeling is because of your own thoughts and actions, because of what you did. But the longer I thought about it, I really did come to this realization that it was true. I had expected certain things. They hadn't been discussed or agreed upon. It was just, this is what I was taught in life as I was growing up, or understood what a relationship should be like. And I was expecting things, and then not having those expectations met hurt. And I think I took that lesson, and slowly, it definitely didn't all happen very quickly overnight, space of a month, nothing like that. I've taken that lesson and looked at the people around me, for example, my mother, and the things that I went through as a child. And even the people I love most in my life, even the people who I know truly love and care for me and want the best for me, I'm sure that I have been hurt by things they've done, and I'm sure they have been hurt by things I have done unintentionally, right? We don't set out to do that, most of us. And I started looking at broader application of this. For example, at my jobs, was there conflict between coworkers that genuinely came down to two people not talking, having their own expectations, and not knowing that the other person expected something different. And I was able to, it's a little bit easier to see it when it's two other people and you're not part of the conflict, but it's also something you can start to see when you are part of the conflict. And you start to understand, and it's really frustrating because you're like, when did I become this sort of enlightened, understanding? I want to be mad and I can't because I know it's, I would just be being mad because of something I'm thinking, not because of something they actually did. You start to see it. You start to see it everywhere, that people come in with expectations. They think that everyone else thinks the same about whatever it is, an expectation for a job, an expectation for a relationship, whether that's, a partner, a friend, someone you hire to do your gardening, like whatever it is. Every time we interact with a person, that's a form of a relationship. And we do have expectations. And I think one of the reasons I've grown to appreciate law in a way, I don't want to say lawyers, but just the concept of studying the law and contracts and knowing how specific things need to be written out. And the language sometimes needs to be defined at the beginning of a contract or a report or whatever it is, to make sure that everyone is on the same page. As you read through this, when this word pops up, we are saying this. This is what we mean from that. We don't understand it could potentially mean other things to other people. In the terms of this contract, this word or this phrase means XYZ. And I find it fascinating. I find it very much something I enjoy talking through, thinking through, debating other people, like asking people's opinion, learning from other people, and really getting into what they are thinking, how they understand it, and how they, what they expect, right? And you can take it from super legal documents down to just emails or things on Facebook. And I think, I don't think a lot of people necessarily enjoy the semantics of that sort of discussion as much as I do. But I think if people did, it would actually help us to avoid more of the conflicts and misunderstandings and hurt feelings when expectations are unmet. And then this brings you all the way back to the beginning of, if you have not clarified these things, then how can you hold someone else responsible when they haven't agreed to those terms, right? They haven't understood what their role in a situation was meant to be. And even if they do understand it, there's oftentimes things they haven't brought to the table. There's oftentimes things they have not said. And there's also genuine limits in their own ability to understand a bigger picture or another person's point of view. And this comes down to things like our intellectual capabilities, our personalities. If you are a narcissist, and very heavily, we all have some narcissistic traits. We all have some traits across the entire human spectrum. We all have them. But when you are solidly in a bucket, like a narcissistic bucket, it just doesn't compute. in their brain, certain things don't make sense. They cannot understand and comprehend it. And I put up a response to this discussion, and I said, I want to very gently echo what other people have said, that it's your responsibility. There's none. You cannot expect the person who hurt you to unhurt you. And it sucks. And this is throughout all life. And at the end of the day, while that is true, you can still feel anger. You can still feel sadness and pain. You can still feel disappointment that if it was, for example, a parent or someone, a partner who's promised certain things to you, you can be disappointed that they were not able to give you the things that you deserved, that you needed. Hi, you're kind of interrupting. Do you think I'm almost done? Do you want to give me hugs? Come here, give me hugs. Okay. Come on. He asks so sweetly. Yeah? Did you ask Mommy nicely? Okay. Realizing that no one else was responsible for my hurt feelings, especially when it's based on my expectations versus what has actually been talked about, agreed upon, so on and so forth, and being responsible for myself. When you finally take that control, when you finally put the work in, and trust me, it's work, but it's worth it. When you finally do the healing and you move along in your life, and one day you look at that person who hurt you and you're just like, I feel nothing. I'm free. I'm free of them. I'm free of the hurt they caused me. I'm free of any expectations. And life is a bit of it's not a straight line, so you might backtrack a little bit. There is definitely still some sadness for the girl I was, who deserved better from my childhood. I feel sorry for that little girl. But as I stand today, until another thing comes up where I'm like, it would be nice if my mother could have been here to see this and be a part of this and not have the situation we have today. Until there's another event where there's another sort of trauma in a way, there's no power over me. There's nothing they can do. And standing up for yourself and being within your own power is so peaceful. You learn to walk away from what doesn't serve you. You learn to understand that other people and their reactions are truly based on where they are and how they feel that day and what how they were brought up, what they think. And 99% of it has nothing to do with you. It's to do with themselves. It's a tough truth. It's not an easy truth to get to. And like I said, life is not linear. There's probably some backtracking involved. New events can come up and hurt us. And again, we sort of fall into that trap of, why did they do this? I wish they hadn't. And he's going again. Oh, you want to jump down? Of course you do, because I'm recording. Of course he does. Oh no, you changed your mind? I can't help you, Kane. What do you want? What are you doing? Can I have this tail? But I love it. He says, no. No tail for you, Mom. That's his tail and he likes it. I think one of the kindest things we can do for ourselves is to stop giving other people the power. Most of them don't even ask for it. Most of them don't even know you've given it to them. It's something we do in our own heads where we say, this person hurt me. Or was I hurt by their actions because of my understanding of a situation. And like I said, it's not a comfortable thing to go through, especially when it's bigger things. To be clear, this doesn't mean that we are deserving of certain treatment. Abuse obviously is not okay. There is, for me at least, an understanding that what my mother did and what I went through was because of her limitations. She couldn't be someone different. She can't be someone different. She is who she is. She's not, to my knowledge, from what I have seen over my entire life, she's not willing to change her behavior. She has repeated a cycle over and over and over again with so many people. There is basically no one left in her life from when I was younger, when she was younger. There's no one. She's done the same thing to everyone, and that's on her. That is her limitation that she cannot learn and grow. Understanding that, like I said, it doesn't change feelings. Feelings are just feelings. We feel them. They're a signpost. They sort of show us where we are. Something is important to us, so we have feelings about it. But they are not fact. And I very much forced myself to take a deep breath and say, what is the reality? What is a feeling? What is, I don't want to make my decisions based on my feelings. I want to make them based on facts as I know them at the time I make a decision. And to me, there's a comfort in understanding, for example, that my mother can't do anything different because she is who she is. I hope this is not too harsh of a truth to have shared. It's one that if you are looking to heal, you need to sit with and wrestle with it, and it will reap benefits down the line for you. All right. I hope everyone has a great evening. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, just be kind to yourself.